Here's where we're at with everything. So I went in and just cleaned up, moved some things around a little bit, just, gave it a little overall kind of tightening and polish. And I'm pretty happy with how it looks. But as we went over earlier, the one thing we have yet to do is a value check. So let's bring this into Photoshop and see how the values look. Okay, just took a quick screenshot. We're here in Photoshop. Now I'm going to go down here and add a new hue and saturation adjustment layer. And then I'm going to go back over here to the properties for that and drag the saturation all the way down. Here we go. Okay, so overall we're pretty good. I see, like really dark values. I see a lot of like kind of medium and darker grays and then some lighter grays. Overall pretty good contrast. I can still kind of make out all the shapes even in black and white. Now the one thing which we noticed before is this light gray in the background, they're really close. And I know we tried making this kind of light gray brighter or darker, and it wasn't working. It started to get too close to other things. So what I'd like to try then is instead of changing this, maybe we darken our background ever so slightly. I think that's the only change I would make because overall everything else reads really well. So let's jump back into Illustrator and see what we can do. Let's take a look at our background color, which is this nice kind of pale yellow. So I'm just going to go over to the swatches panel, double click this, hit preview to make sure we can see what we're doing. And I just want to adjust the brightness of it. I don't want to mess with it too much, in fact, because I really like how everything else works with it. We had good contrast. It's just against that rock right there and like the shirt a little bit. So let's play with the brightness and see what happens. So I'll drag it down just a touch. It's like 95. Okay, I have better, yeah, it looks better there. It does kind of like dull the background color quite a bit though, even with that 5%. So let's bring the saturation up a little bit and see if that'll help. Okay, yeah, that seems to help a little. So I'm gonna dial it in somewhere around there. Yeah, okay. So we have much better contrast with this kind of like light gray and the shirt and the background, and everywhere else, we didn't lose too much. So let's toggle back and forth, see what happens. Yeah, you know what? I'm cool with this. It gets a little close right here, but I don't mind that so much. I think overall it looks better. And bringing back some of the saturation as we darkened it was a big help because I feel like although it's darker, we didn't lose any of the vibrance of that color. Look for contrast, and then maybe start by identifying where you want to put the most emphasis and kind of work around that point. Lastly, make sure you do at least one value check. And it's okay to do this more than once. In fact, you can do several along the way. Be on the lookout for contrast and then adjust things as you go. This is probably the toughest part of this course, and that's okay. Just remind yourself that working with color is a process. It's going to take some back and forth before you get things right. And you're probably going to change some color values along the way, so don't be afraid to do that. Also, don't feel like you have to use all of the colors from the palette. It might just be too much. And if you're struggling, start by using 1 or 2 colors along with a neutral. That'll be a lot easier to work with. Plus, you can always add more colors later.